We have a threat of very long standing, a promise. That we're going to go through and do some of the ARR class quests before we get too far in 2.x, and friends, the time is now. We've already seen what the Arcanist gets up to on their path to 30, and the very beginning of what the Summoner does. But we're going to see a little more of what's up with the Summoner. The way that I've done these is I just zipped through each of their bits of content as I was scaling up, so this should be as much of a surprise to me as it is to the rest of the team. Austerities of Flame requires the return to our original guild in Limsa. Here goes. Swapping back and forth between FromSoft games and this makes you forget exactly how brief load times are around here. The Arcanist's Guild, please. We're just going to be sent off to capture Ifrit again, even though he's already here. Wait, why can't I talk to you? Requires, I need to be an Arcanist. Okay, so I need to take off, I believe, this. Unequipped. There we go. Cease to be a summoner. Greetings, Long Point. It is well that you've come, for we have an intriguing matter to discuss. A request has come to our guild from the Sons of St. Coinach, an organization of some of the finest minds in Eorzea, and they've asked for you by name. It appears the research the Sons are currently conducting would benefit from the assistance of an Arcanist, specifically one who had tempering experience of defeating the Prabhu Ifrit. Though I must admit to some curiosity as to how these scholars know of the extent of your heroic exploits, I suppose the source of their knowledge is of little relevance. If you would answer this request, then you would find your contact, a researcher by the name of Imhitra at Apkalu Falls in the nation of Gridania. Pants came off. Why did they come off? Do we have any other pants we could wear, please? Just anything. There we go. Well, we said just anything, and just anything is what we got. Our crimson breeches. Let's head over to Apkalu Falls, why don't we? To relive the austerities of Flame. And as much chiller as this music is than it usually is, I don't know. Is there nighttime music in the cities? Oof, loud here. Oh, right. So there is this first step. I believe that the amphitheater is the closest. Oof, less loud. So, there's the grating city music right back. Can't handle it. Please let me enjoy the night in some tranquility. Give me a measure of peace. And here they are, Imhitra waiting for us by the waterfall. You are Long Point Erwin, I assume. Well met, and thank you for coming. My name, as you probably obviously surmised, is Imhitra. I'm a member of the Sons of St. Coinach. Ours is a Charlian order that seeks the lost knowledge of the Allegan Empire. And in that regard, we've recently made a singularly important discovery at our dig site in Mordona. We salvaged from the ruins a set of ancient texts describing the existence of a sect of Allegan mages known as Summoners. These were arcane practitioners said to have the ability to siphon the essences of primals and manifest this stolen energy as a biddable ally known as an Agi. Should we succeed in resurrecting such arts, then we might well hold in our hands the power to bring this age of conflict to an end. There is, though, as there always must be, one monumental obstacle to realizing this reality. In order to manifest these obedient incarnations of the Beastmen's savage deities, one must first defeat a primal and capture its etheric essence. Thus, only one who could boast such a daunting achievement under his belt may even begin on the path to becoming a summoner. Do you understand now why I called upon you? If you wish to contribute to my research, then come to me in the west of Biragat's Strike, in southern Thanalan. There shall we conduct a ritual of summoning, the austerities of Flame. Perfect. Well, let's head over to Biragat's Strike, why don't we? Yeah, out there in the dunes. Take me away, please. See ya. Whew. Mounting up and heading south to appear in a morality play. Sogoli Desert. We see the constellations above us. Unrecognizable. Imhitra. It was night when last I came out here too. Greetings to you once more, Erwin. I had a feeling this unique opportunity would be nigh impossible for you to ignore. Let us proceed directly to the ritual, shall we? According to the records we recovered, the summoners of old would perform these rites in a land in which the naturally dominant element matched the aspect of the avatar they wished to call forth. Only in such a place might one sufficiently shift one's etheric balance in the desired direction. The element of fire is especially strong here in the Sogoli Desert. I can think of no land more fitting in which to summon an incarnation of the Lord of the Inferno. Before we begin, I must insist you accept this gem. It may appear to be of little worth, but within its faceted depths dwell the memories of long-deceased summoners. Now you must focus. Visualize the ether flowing through you, a vibrant current of energy transforming into living fire. Hold this image in your mind. The raging heat of your life force shall spew an eggy wreathed in flames. Be aware, though, that this nascent entity will appear before you unbound and hostile. It is your charge to overpower the avatar and establish yourself as its master. The path of the summoner is naught if not fraught with peril. Yeah, sink me real low. Let me in. Here we go. Oh, we didn't turn the music back on, damn it. Do 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 Let's hear it. Let's hear it for the soundtrack. Yeah, just like that. The heat is almost intolerable. Pray to keep this empty swiftly. I don't remember what my key bindings were for this base version of the class. And at this point, I'm too scared to ask. Yeah. Oh, summon the sprites that do its bidding. Have a care they do not surround me. Just shatter the crimson nails. Yeah. It's poppable. No more nails. Nailed out. Nails away. Oh, shit. Okay, here's going. Crimson nails are destroyed. Now is the time. Press on attack. Hit. Look how hard Fester gets there. Unthinkable. Duty complete. Yeah. Strange oozes in our throat. Imhitra. Most impressive, Erwin. The fireborn Iggy is submitted to your will. You've mastered the austerities of flame, and that is no small feat. Pray let us return to Upkalu Falls, where we might further discuss your achievement. Alright, I'll head back there. And of course, music immediately back off again to preserve our sanity. This is truly a momentous occasion. You've rescued the lost art of summoning from the grasping mire of forgotten history. But you must know more of the avatar you have bound. In the ancient tongue of the Algad Empire, it would be known as Ifrit Egi, where Egi translates approximately to pure or the essence of. In short, you've tamed a willful manifestation of Ifrit's raging fires. As you might expect from an entity born of the Lord of Inferno, this avatar and its capacity for destruction should serve you well in your battles to come. With such an ally at your command, it is not too soon to take upon yourself the title of Summoner. You've proven yourself more than worthy of the soul crystal you now possess. Yet be that as it may, the road before you is long and arduous. If you would triumph in this age of conflict, you must needs master more than just the Agi of fire. I suggest you fix your gaze next upon claiming a servant of unyielding stone. You once seized victory against the primal titan, did you not? Though I admit I am eager to progress directly to the austerities of Earth, you must be careful not to overtask your reserves of strength. Rest well and spend some time to grow accustomed to your newfound abilities. Once you feel prepared to continue with our historic research, you will find me here awaiting your arrival with barely constrained impatience. Next will be available level 35, you say? Do. Well, Summoner. Unlocked. Perfect. That's just what we were here for. You learned how to summon Eorzea, but he's been in our pocket for a very long time. Let's go ahead and throw our pants. Well, first we throw our gem back on, then we equip whichever pants are more fitting for us. All kitted out. Imhitra, let's keep moving. Austerities of Earth. Titan's essence infuses your aura, Erwin. I foresee no further obstacles preventing us from attempting the next ritual. Shall we proceed with the austerities of Earth? I have every confidence that you will succeed in binding Titan Agi to your will. According to my research, the most suitable location for the ritual is a place found in the southwest of Alder Springs in the North Shroud, a heretofore buried layer of ancient rock, exposed by the violent upheavals of the calamity, has lent the surrounding area with an overwhelming earthen aspect. The conditions will be perfect. I will await you at our destination, Erwin. Very good. Let's head on over. Can we turn the music on just as we leave? Shield your ears. Shield your ears. Ooh, oh, a bad idea. Should have waited till we showed up. But I was worried we'd forget. So here we are. Normally we would pass underneath this archway, of course. Oh, the great mystery ring, or demi-ring. I want to know what is in there. This must be some kind of elegant structure, right? Oh, can't even get all the way over. I thought maybe we could fly inside. Ooh, I want to know what it is so bad. But we will just do great deeds in its shadow for now. Shall we summon the Freet? Hey, buddy. Imhitra. The ritual you are about to perform is essentially no different from the austerities of flame. Instead of fire, though, you will be concentrating on shifting your etheric balance toward the spectrum of Earth. Once you've achieved the required state of earthen affinity, the primal's captured essence will tumble forth and coalesce into the stony form of Titan Agi. As before, you must demonstrate unflinching authority if you would convince the newborn avatar to heed your commands. Let us begin. Yeah, let's do it. Music is on, right? It is on. I didn't turn it back off again as soon as we showed up. Hold out the summoner's stone. Why, hey! It's the big egg. Yeah! Is this the music from Titan? I don't know. When your presence of this egg is suffocating, it's as if the weight of the mountain presses upon my chest. Get him with all the tools. Should see fire. So the entity is summoned down as a bird. Well, let's remove the gods. What are the allies of Earth? Do they not spawn like very easy? But they're there. Just doing nothing over here then. The stone shivers down. The etheric flow, it shakes the very ground. Hey. Looks like we came before the egg. Well done, Long Point. Whoa. What's going on? Ooh, he's casting his dots at us. Maybe that was ruin, I'm not sure. I come in search of elegant relics, and what do I find but a pair of incompetent dabblers? By what jest of fate did you chance across such undeserved power? And who might you be, sir, to so boldly question our accomplishments? He's looking around. If you have indeed unlocked the secrets of summoning, then you must be in possession of the very treasure I seek. How terribly convenient. I need only slay you both and take what I need from your bloody corpses. Gods below, a summoner, but how? We're not so smart. Cease your infantile prattle. The continuation of my divine will far outweighs the worth of your pitiful lives. But buddy, this is all coming from inside us. There will be as many summoners as we need. Defeat the dark summoner. I hope this music's not overwhelming because it just sounds loud. How fortunate to die by my hand. Not that I shall do peace. Oops, other than waiting to kill the alien, probably just killing someone you think to stand against me, foolish body. You will burn nevertheless. Be on your guard for this powerless building. Mitra, you should hold on right there. You seem hurt. Alright, we got our charge right up. Didn't get our siphon off. Hopefully, I don't remember if there's another phase. We'll see. Why do you struggle so? Your unwillingness to accept oblivion but delays the inevitable. Heed me, Avatar, truthfully. Incinerate these fools in all-consuming hellfire. Going a little far. Whoa. But look. What? It's Titan Agi. Feel nature's fury, vile blackguard. I tire of this childish game. Thank your gods for granting you another day of miserable existence. Swoosh! He's not impressed. He's gone. What a decidedly unpleasant fellow. We learned how to summon Titan Agi. No fancy animation for that? What's going on? What's happening? Our level is no longer synced. I guess it confused itself because it had like the load screen there. Well, I suggest we return to Apkalu Falls. I have no desire to linger here and chance another encounter with whoever that deranged mage was. It's interesting, I guess. Yeah, well, a mage, I guess, doesn't necessarily refer to a specific class of caster, right? We got black mages and white mages. Oh, fuck, we gotta turn the music back off before we die. Is it off? Is the music off right now? But we were hearing music, there's no way. It's just not playing right now for some reason. Yeah, it's on. Stand ready, friends. Stand ready to turn this shit back on. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Oh, yes. No. Anyway, see you with the cat. And around the corner, and there she is. Mitra. I must say I did not expect to meet another practitioner of the summoning arts. And I also did not expect to be suddenly fighting for my life. What precious treasure do we carry that this callous stranger was so willing to kill us to possess it? Such mysteries aside, I am glad you were able to secure Titan Agi before the summoner decided to unleash his fiery avatar. Without its protection, I doubt we would have survived that conflagration. The Agi of Earth, as was so aptly demonstrated, excels at defense. You should certainly take the time to explore its capabilities as well as its limitations. Be careful, though, not to neglect your offense completely. Meanwhile, I shall confer with my colleagues in the Sons of St. Koinach and see what I might learn of that hostile summoner. We shall meet anon. Energy siphon. We can now summon Titan. Shadowing the summoner. That's interesting. Uncut gems, but it's shark tail. What does that mean? How fared you with your training? Long point. For my part, I had some success in uncovering the identity of our mystery attacker. We knew that our assailant was capable of summoning Ifrit Agi, so I perused the records of past expeditions for those who claimed to have triumphed against the Lord of the Inferno. Of these victorious primal hunters, there were 8 names listed as present whereabouts unknown. After eliminating unlikely candidates based on race and gender, I was left with but a single name, Tristan. Assuming the records are accurate, this hero was once registered as a soldier in the Immortal Flames. As to how the man came by his skills as a summoner or why he sought to kill us, though, I remain woefully ignorant. Nevertheless, I've witnessed him use the art of summoning for casual brutality, and that I cannot countenance. His power should never be employed for the sake of tyranny or personal gain. It was meant to oppose such evils. Yet another person inventing a nuke and then being shocked when it's used as a bomb. It is our responsibility to bring this Tristan to justice. Should we stand idle, his reprehensible actions could very well stain the good name of the future summoners who have yet to answer their calling. The art itself could be outlawed, the very mention of it taboo. Now, through my inquiries, I was able to determine that a war comrade from Tristan's days in the military resides in Little Alamigo. I ask that you pay a visit to this former soldier and learn what he knows of our callous villain. Sure, let's talk to the Immortal Flame. Ex-cops, always forthcoming people. Hello, it's Little Alamigo. We've been here before, not recently. We killed a bunch of young men here, so, in that sense, not so unlike a cop. Former Immortal Flame, well, seems like Tristan wasn't telling tall tales after all. He said I could expect some primal adult sod to show up and start asking questions. Why don't you stay here and play with some friends of mine? I have a message to deliver. It's all yours, ladies. Yeah, here's the thing. It didn't scale me down for this, so I'm very sorry. But I'm not really seeing another way for us to go than Agi removing me from this mortal plane. Call them, they're all Agi. Let's talk to Mitra about the problems with his new diplomatic approach. I'm sorry, I was just making my way to where we were going when I saw an NPC named Simpkin. Traveling troubadour and master minstrel at your service. Shall be stopping here goodbye for a time and keeping my senses open to new inspiration. Well, you heard it from Simpkin first. In Hitra, they tried to murder me. You were set upon. The fiend is one step ahead of us. I'd wager 10 years of dig site findings that Tristan warned his old allies long before you set foot in that settlement. They thought you one of the tempered, a mortal enthralled to a primal's will. In addition to being ruthless, it appears our opponent is highly intelligent and not quite as deranged as I first assumed. Such a level of planning hints at the existence of some greater scheme, but that is all we know. For the moment, we must be content with the knowledge that he perceives us as a threat and is aware of our efforts to track him. Speaking of which, you did exceedingly well to survive the trap into which I blithely sent you. I must apologize for my carelessness. I will not underestimate this man again. On a happier note, though, my efforts to decipher the elegant text proceed apace. Here, you must read this. With your skills already tried and tested against the Agi, you should have little difficulty in mastering a secondary summoning technique such as this. Let us put this day's disaster behind us and focus on the wonders ahead. You're forgiven. Yeah, we learned to do outburst and AoE attack. Mitra, elegant attire. Greetings, Erwin. Though it is good to see you, I'm afraid that I have yet to ascertain Tristan's ultimate objective. I only know that he is cunning, brutal, and will stop at nothing to achieve his purpose. As matters stand, we but chase after the man's shadow. Such a straightforward pursuit will, I believe, leave us ever one step behind. Our sole advantage is the treasure we possess that Tristan appears to covet. Eventually, his desire will bring him to us. Where and when Tristan will strike, I cannot say, but it is unlikely to be on a field of our choosing. Thus I suggest we prepare for the inevitable conflict as best we may. As fortune would have it, the ruins of Mordona have provided us with a new source of strength. Word among the suns is that a set of evokers' attire has been unearthed. Made during the reign of the Elegant Empire, these enchanted garments were sewn for the exclusive use of summoners. I can only imagine the degree to which they will enhance your already impressive powers. The man supervising the excavation effort at St. Koinok's Fine, Rambros, is a dear friend of mine. In light of our circumstances, I am certain you will consent to the request that you be allowed to don the attire. Shall we pay him a visit? I think we've met Rambros. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it looks familiar. Mordona. Which zone is this again? Big, fancy, spiky crystal house. Oh yeah, it's where, the dead dragon looks over the lake. This may be a longer prospect than I thought. I bet. We'll see. I have it in mind to do 1, 2, 3 more, I think. I think 3 more. 2 of them starting from level 1, so they'll take longer. We'll see. See how it goes. It's Rambros. I'm Hitra. I suspected you would make an appearance before long, and I presume this fine gentleman is the new summoner I've heard so much about. Yes, hopefully the first of many. Now pray tell me, Rambros, has the discovery of Allagan made evoker's attire been confirmed? It has, truly an historical find. And I would ask a boon of you, my friend. You recall the predicament of which I spoke. Our chances of survival would be greatly improved if you would consider allowing Erwin to wear the Allagan garments. Well, he is a summoner after all, and I must confess to no small degree of scholarly curiosity as to the effect the attire will have with one of appropriate training. These finds are, though, the result of much sweat and even a few tears on the part of our excavation team. 'Tis a frustrating task at times, and I fear they will be loath to part with the garments without some measure of recompense for their efforts. Allow me, though, to offer a solution. Metallic monstrosities of Allagan construction known as Mirror-Knights have risen from the dig sites scattered across Mordona. Needless to say, they pose a dangerous threat to our excavators. I suggest you speak with my 3 field researchers and dispose of any such nasty hindrances to their work. I dare say they will gladly surrender the pieces of attire they hold. Once I've confirmed our dig sites suitably empty of armored horrors, we'll see you rewarded with a garment that I myself recovered from the ruins. Perfect. Rambros. So we just gotta zip across here. Hey, it's a muddled researcher. Mirror Knight lurks just over yonder. I can scarce think straight with that thing wandering about. Oh gods, it approaches. What if I just obliterated you, though? Ceased you to exist. Problem solved. Phew, have my thanks. Now I might finally be able to concentrate on my tasks. If I'm not mistaken, you were in search of the evoker's attire. I have one of its wondrous pieces right here. You are most welcome to it. Thanks, ma'am. You obtained a piece of the evoker's attire. Is it a key item? Nope, does not actually exist. You'd think they'd do that more often. I love that sunrise dome over there. Unmanned researcher. Praise the gods. Rambros said the adventure would be long. Please, you must destroy that hard construction. Yeah, that's what I'm for, baby. Instructions down. Boom. Thank you for eliminating the source of my recent nightmares. I do not ordinarily stutter so, you see, but an abject terror has that effect on folk. Now I hear from Hitra that you have need of this Allagan garment. I should be glad to see it put to practical use rather than shut away in some dusty vault. It belongs in a museum. Flexes. And I'm the exhibit. Seemingly unmoved researcher. Mirror Knights, yes, they become quite bothersome. I'd be most appreciative if you were to eliminate the creaking pest that has been plaguing me of late. Forgot to turn the music back on. It happens. We pressed every button on the bar. All at once. Seems moved now. Fascinating. I never thought I'd be fortunate enough to observe a conflict against an elegant construction in such close quarters. This has been a deeply enriching experience. If the price is to be my piece of the evoker's attire, then so be it. The champion of my researchers returns. With the ruins now free of mirror knights, the excavations can proceed at a far more satisfying pace. Trembling in fear for one's life makes it astonishingly difficult to handle ancient artifacts that have a tendency to crumble into dust. You've performed a valuable duty for us, Erwin. As promised, you shall have the summoner's garment uncovered by my own hand as your reward. Ah yes, Mitra mentioned she would await you at Kalu Falls. It seems there was no doubt in her mind that you would succeed here. Well, she was supposed to plan around my death? It's a really depressing thing to have to factor into your social calendar. In Mitra, people did try to kill us, but they were, not surprises this time. So this was how the summoners of old were clad. Well, more or less. It is unfortunate that the ruins have yet to surrender the final piece to the suns. These garments, aside from the coloring, they are identical to the garb Tristan wore. You will find no edge against you through his equipment. When next you face that murderous cad, victory will be decided purely by who is the more talented summoner. To that end, it is time you draw on your experience in defeating the primal Garuda. Yes, her aura of fickle violence is palpable upon you. It is daunting to imagine an Agi born of the Lady of the Vortex. Such unpredictable ferocity should serve you well. I will search for a suitably airy location in which to perform the austerities of wind. You, my dear summoner, must needs prepare yourself, body and mind, for the trials ahead. I'll be waiting. I should probably queue. Well, no, because if I queue, what's going to happen is I won't be able to enter the instanced parts of this. So that's not useful. I sense Garuda's restless essence railing within the confines of your etheric channels. It is time we granted it release with the austerities of wind. Thankfully, I already have in mind a location that well suits our elemental purposes. You are familiar with the floating city of Nim and Automanoskia. As you might imagine, the aspect of wind is entirely dominant in the area of those suspended isles. Pray make your way there as soon as you feel prepared. I'm quite excited to see this movie. Me too, Mitra. I have an easy way to get onto floating islands. Do you see? No island can outfloat me. Where am I going? Over here. Huh? Sneeze? Nope. Didn't happen. Ow. It's very painful. Oh, we're just among the floating islands. Fine. Oh, your name is vibrating in Mitra. Shall we begin? I assume that as this is your third such experience, you've by now grown familiar with the steps of the ritual. Thus, as before, I'll have you concentrate on shifting your etheric balance. Imagine the energy within you howling through your veins, an incessant gale of screeching wrath. Garuda's essence will only be too eager to harness those raging currents and shape them into a worldly avatar. Once Garuda Agi has appeared, it falls to you to tame its fury. Yeah, take me back to level 49, when I was young and innocent. Back then, I barely knew how to summon Garuda. I wasn't Defeat Garuda. Such powerful beings. There can be no doubt we face Garuda's spawn. Let's get out our AD attacks. Yeah, both good and down. Fester for the moment. How do you like it? I'm just gonna save myself and charge those attacks because I bet things are gonna go wrong. And I wouldn't mind having some instant. This is very Boom! Beware the avatar's feathers. Just want to blow them up as they shoot out of it. That's on her. So in fact we should do a spread up monster. Looking back when we do that, test them out. Let's get on there. Instead of 10 sounds. That's it. No intrusion by the Tristan man. Once again, no fancy ceremony as it tries to load us out of the little instanced space. Imhitra. Masterfully done, heroine. Garuda Aegi's power is now yours to wield. Your aptitude for the art of summoning has exceeded my highest expectations. I honestly could not have found a more valuable partner for my research. Let us return to Apkalu Falls. I am sure you must be exhausted after this ordeal. Let's do it. Let's head right on back to Apkalu Falls. Speak to us, cat. With the addition of Garuda Aegi, you now command 3 powerful avatars. As you no doubt realize, though each of these entities has a particular role in which it excels. For Garuda Aegi, that role is unleashing magic to strike down distant foes. You must admit to feeling equal parts joy and apprehension at how faithfully this summoned being displays the original primals of volatile disposition. Experiment with your Aegi allies, and the most effective use of their individual abilities will soon become clear. With such mastery of the art at your disposal, I shall almost pity Tristan when he next chooses to confront you. Before that time comes, though, I will endeavor to pierce the mystery of the motivations. May your discoveries bring you new confidence, heroine. It was really hard to focus on what you were saying with that music playing. Yep. Imhitra, Primal Burdens. Terrible news, everyone. Long Point, there has been a terrible incident. My poor colleagues at St. Coinox find murdered. The reports are confused, but they all mention the same black-robed attacker. You know as well as I do that Tristan is behind this massacre. He has indeed grown bold or desperate to commit such a brazen act. We should set off to Mordona at once to speak with any survivors. It may be that we can glean some idea of what that cold-hearted monster was after, or where he might strike next. We must stop him, heroine. Well, that's dark. Wasn't aware this was going to be dark. I guess it's going to be dark. Okay, I guess we just... Any road. Here's the surviving researcher. Yes, I'm absolutely certain it was the same dark summoner whom Imhitra described to us. We were celebrating a recent find, the soul crystal of an elegant summoner, when a man in black robes suddenly appeared and demanded we surrender the gem. Naturally, we objected to this arrogant imposition, but he simply sneered at our refusal. Next moment, the world exploded into flame. Through a haze of agony, I saw him snatch up the soul crystal from a smoldering body and stride off toward the singeing shards. That bastard slaughtered my friends. There was no warning, no negotiation. If the gods grant you the chance to exact vengeance, then I pray you show him the same mercy he afforded us. Sounds pretty reasonable to me. Another soul crystal. Yes, it makes sense that he would shift his attention to a more easily obtainable gem. After all your progress, you would now make for a most formidable opponent. I must apologize for not sharing my theory earlier. I suspect that Tristan might desire the soul crystal you carry, but did not wish to draw any premature conclusions without sufficient evidence. I'm at a loss, though, to explain why he seeks to collect more of these elegant relics. We shall just have to ask the villain himself after we corner him in the singeing shards. Let us be on our way. Truer, it's just up north, right? I don't know if we've flown this way before. Let's admire the view. The great digital blade. I don't know what these eruptions of crystal quite represent. Great beings dying. Something of the kind. Yeah, I'm gonna join the fate, don't worry about it. Here we go. Yeah! Sounds like things are... But they were for a second. They had some tension and just a whole range. Kingdom. I've brought you the soul crystals, as promised. I like that they know that their masks are too small. Yes, these appear to be authentic Allegan artifacts. Is he gonna crush them? Very well. I shall honor our bargain. Within these gems I will draw forth the memories of the ancient summoners and the slumbering essence of an elder primal. All the attendant knowledge and power shall be yours. Spooky. Too much power. Oh, gods, the pain. Yeah, do your villainous laugh, dude. I mean, you're dressed like a villain. What a villain dunce cap motif. Ah, the bumbling summoner and his incompetent lackey make an appearance at last. You think to capture me? Fools. I've orchestrated your every move. You have grown much in the art, it is true. But through the wisdom of the paragons, I now command the power of an elder primal. You made a deal with the paragons, and you call us fools. The Askians will never relinquish their hold on you. Small price to pay, if you could but feel the strength that fills my entire being. It is indescribable. I will use this power to annihilate the beast tribes, and put an end to their insufferable rituals once and for all. The primals will rise no more. Hear me, demon king of devouring flame. Feed on my ever-burning and be reborn. The culmination of my sacred duty is at hand. But first, there is one more soul crystal that must be mine. Will tolerate its wasted potential no longer. So he wants to undo primals so that summoning is pure, so that the whole conduit can pass through summoners. Belias. Behold the might of Belias. Never before said such words. All the more reason to defeat this man. You don't have much of a reply. Ah, the tendrils of darkness, I feel them. Last supper. There's not enough. Belias must have it all. You get fully healed by the way this is an 8 Belias. Don't shoot me. None can withstand this tendency. I didn't think it's possible to absorb the Aegis' power. It wouldn't do that. I am a god amongst men, and now he is no more. It went a little too quick, I think. We didn't get to see the entire arc of the thing. By all the memories of the summoner's past, I should have been unstoppable. I will sear the disease of beastmen from the face of the land. Deprived of worshippers, the primal that tempered my weak-willed sibling will wither into oblivion. So I see my order's records were accurate. Though it was buried deep in the archives, I but recently uncovered a report that described how you slew your own brother. He was corrupted during your ill-fated encounter with Ifrit, was he not? I imagine your superiors in the immortal flames thought it a mercy to conceal that inglorious detail. Once the soft-headed fool had been tempered, there was no saving him, and thus I took it upon myself to expunge the stain of embarrassment. But my work is left undone. The primal, though. All primals must suffer for that insult. After I killed my brother, I found myself liberated, my vision clear. No deed was too vile if it promised to add to the power I required. How can you not see? I am the sword of vengeance, and I shall wrest that soul crystal from your blasted corpse. You got another trick up your sleeve, buddy? Yo, he's got a plan. Wow. Dr. Darkness is back. Whoa. He's gonna blow. Kablam. No body, huh? That suggests to me he'll be returning in the sequel. I wonder which struck the first blow to his sanity, his despair at his brother's tempering with the guilt of slaying his own kin. It is ironic to think that, discounting the means, our purposes were fundamentally one and the same. The summoner employs the savagery of primals to conquer the primals themselves. Had Tristan approached us as an ally, we might have found ourselves aiding his cause. Alas, he chose to walk the path of bloodshed. Each vicious act must have pushed the man deeper into madness until eventually the lust for power and vengeance was all that drove him. The might of the primals carries with it a burden of responsibility and a measure of danger. I hope never to see you corrupted by the potent energies you wield, Erwin. It is time we return to Apollo Falls. The Dark Summoner is no more. Kind of melodramatic, I think. A little bit overstated for what it was. We do have to remember that we're getting these things very quickly, of course, not lingering in our minds. Hope you had a good reason for making us walk back here, ma'am. Oh, how I would love to declare our troubles at an end, but I fear the Askian with whom Tristan made his bargain is yet afoot. These so-called paragons prey upon men and women who are at their weakest, speaking honeyed words to lead them down the road to destruction. In this manner they seek to plunge the realm of Eorzea into chaos. It is reassuring to know that heroes like you exist to foil their never-ending schemes and foul plots. An outright war against the Askians looms closer by the day. Thus would I have you armor yourself in this last piece of the Evoker's attire. The fucking awful horn. No, I won't. It was discovered at the same dig site whence Tristan seized the soul crystal. The St. Coinox fine researcher is grateful for your actions in bringing the murderous summoner to justice, insisted that you complete your set. One can never be overprepared when heading into battle against a paragon. Wear it proudly, Long Point. Speaking of preparations, were you aware of the deeper layer of power hidden within your avatars? A technique exists that allows you to tap into the full potential of your Agi. You must have seen Tristan employing this ability. During the final battle with the Dark Summoner, you would have heard a whisper emanating from the soul crystal. Uh-huh. Still your mind now, Erwin, and you will hear the voices of the ancient summoners instructing you in their greatest achievement. The true power of the Agi will be yours. Yeah, and we learned Ultimate Unleash, or whatever it's called. And Kindle. This concludes Summoner Quest for a Realm Reborn. Well, that was almost an hour to get through. Just a bit of a surprise. Thought it'd be less than that. So I think we'll call it there. But we've got several classes more to go. So I'll have to see you soon.